Alrighty guys, so I'm going to show y'all how to do a traffic pattern landing on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in the Cessna 152 that's included with the game. So the game has like a flight school tutorial mode, and it's not a bad tutorial mode. They're fairly accurate on most of it. I fly a 152 several times a week. And I mean, following the instructions they give you in their tutorial, you can land the plane, but it's not the most efficient or easiest way to land the Cessna 152. So I'm going to show you all the easy way to land the Cessna 152. First thing you want to do before you get on the runway, obviously, you want to make sure your landing lights are on. You want to make sure your beacon's on. Make sure your strobes are on. Your nav lights. And pitot heat, obviously, if it's cold or if it's otherwise needed. Make sure your carburetor heat is off. Make sure that your mixture knob is pushed all the way in. Make sure that your flaps are set to 0. For whatever reason, whenever you click on an airport and you click set as departure and you load into the game, a lot of times the flaps are set to 10 degrees. Don't need it unless you're doing a short field or soft field takeoff, which don't worry about that right now. I'm going to show you all a normal takeoff, short field and soft field if anybody wants to see those. Just drop a comment down in the description and I will post a video on how to do those. Alright guys, make sure to drop a like if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel, and if there's any other videos y'all want to see on here, just let me know in the comments and I will get them made. Alright, let's get going. So you're going to go full throttle, keep the nose on the center line. Biggest thing with the 152, you want to watch your RPMs on your takeoff roll. You want them to be above 2280 RPMs. So we're at about 2300 right now. That's good. Airspeed's alive, looking for 55 and rotating. So we're going to do a little bit of back pressure and we are off the ground. So we're going to climb out at VY, which is your best rate of climb. VY at this on the 152 is 67 knots. So we're going to just hold our runway heading and maintain 67 knots. Once we hit 500 feet, we're going to make a standard rate turn to the left. Alrighty, standard rate turn to the left, entering our crosswind leg. Still trying to maintain VY. So once we get up to about 1,000 feet or so, we're going to start our left turn into the downwind. Going to level off first, obviously. Alrighty, so we're at 1,000 feet. We're going to make our left turn to the downwind. We're going to fly parallel to the runway. Just standard rate turn. And shave off a little bit of that power. You want to stay around pattern altitude when you're flying around in the traffic pattern, whether it's on Flight Simulator or in real life. Generally, your pattern altitude for single engine propeller airplanes is going to be 1,000 feet above ground level. This is the Hammond Airport, Kilo Hotel Delta Charlie. It's at 47 feet is the airfield elevation, so we call it about 1,000 feet or so. Is good. So once we're coming up to about a 45 degree point. Once you're at about a 45 degree point from your where you want to land at, you're going to pull your power back to 1600 RPM. And you want to keep that nose nice and level. You're looking to get inside of the white arc on your airspeed indicator. So the white arc is your flap extension speed. It's about 85 knots on the 152. Once you're inside the white arc, you're going to go ahead, drop your first notch of flaps. You're going to pull your carburetor heat. And we're going to go ahead and start our descent down. I'm going to go ahead and turn left base. On your descent, once you turn left base, you want to hang around 70 knots or so for your descent speed. Alrighty, we can see the airport. We're going to check to our right, make sure nobody's coming in to land in front of us. Alright, we're about to turn on to our final. We're going to go ahead and drop second notch of flaps. Oop. There we go. And we're going to start a nice standard rate turn to the left. Overspeed my flaps. Your RPMs will kind of vary depending on what you're doing, so always keep an eye on your RPMs. If you find yourself going a little bit overspeed, you can always pull back to idle or drop your speed a little bit to get back into the groove. So we want the runway to look almost like a trapezoid. You want this end to be lined up with that end. You don't want either one to be more off to the side in your sight picture. Keep on aiming for those numbers right there. Getting close to the runway, gonna pull back power a little bit more, and we're gonna throw in our third notch of flaps. Lost a little bit of power. Gonna add back to 1600 RPM. Keep on aiming down for that runway. Keep it nice and smooth. Alright, so we're going to transition into ground effect. We got the runway made. Keep that nose pointed straight down. And we're going to go idle. And we are down on the ground. Put in some brakes. A little bit of back pressure for some aerodynamic braking. And we are down. So what you want to do whenever you come in... whenever you're coming into land, you want to aim for the numbers. Once you get about 10 feet or so above the runway, you want to transition from kind of a nose down angle to a nose straight, just kind of a straight and level flight right at about 5 to 10 feet above the runway. Once you have the plane flying like straight, you want your attitude indicator to basically look like that. Then pull your power back to idle and just keep flying straight. You'll notice once you start losing airspeed, the plane will it'll look almost like it's dropping down slowly to the runway. Once the plane starts doing that, just slowly start applying back pressure to bring that nose up. You don't want it to be way up, but you also don't want it to be like barely up, because you want to protect that nose gear and have a nice smooth landing. But alright, so that is how to land the Cessna 152 on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you like what you saw, drop a comment if there's any tutorial videos or how-tos that you would like to see in the future, and I will make sure to make those videos. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Blue skies.